I got a question for everybody out there in the quote-unquote vegan community, raw food community, alkaline community. Why do most of the people who say, or when you're dealing with Brazil nuts and walnuts, mostly walnuts, any kind of nuts, really, why do most of y'all say to soak the nuts? I'm only asking this question because a lot of times you hear people say, you know, and nature is this, and nature is that, and nature is this, and nature and that is that. So it came to my mind, in nature, in the primitive days, were they taking the nuts and soaking them? Or were they just grabbing the walnut and eating it? Because it seemed like, and I don't have a problem soaking my nuts, but I never do. So my question is, why are we soaking the nuts? Are we soaking the nuts because we feel like it's going to give us less gas, it's easier to digest, or whatever the case may be? Because if you want to stick to this nature shit or nature talk, then I don't think that they was doing that in nature. I don't think that they was taking the walnuts, sitting them and soaking them in water, and then eating them. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I've been eating walnuts for the last, I've been always eating walnuts and Brazil nuts and stuff. But for the last couple nights, I think for the last 3 nights, I've had walnuts and Brazil nuts. I usually like to eat about 2 or 3 Brazil nuts, and these are in the actual shell. So I like to eat about 2 or 3 Brazil nuts and 4 to 5 walnuts. I don't like to overdo it, especially the way I eat. I eat a lot of fruit, and when I eat walnuts and Brazil nuts, they kind of, if I eat too many, which never happens, but if I know that if I eat an avocado, what's that? No. I know if I eat an avocado, that shit be heavy on my stomach. Truth. But walnuts, they gave me gas last night, and I ain't like that. And I don't know if it's because I ate them with dates. Probably ate them around like 7. I was like, the last time I had something to eat was last night. It was some dates, walnuts and Brazil nuts, and I got really bad gas. Is that why y'all soak them? Because I can understand that perspective, but you know, if you're gonna come from the nature perspective, I don't think they was doing that in nature. I don't think they was doing that in nature. And maybe I'm wrong, maybe they was, but I'm not with it. If I have to do it, cool, but you know, it just seems like a lot to me. I don't mind soaking the wild rice and all that overnight. You know, if you're gonna do the raw thing, I just saw a video of that today. Lady she soaked the wild rice overnight for 24 hours and then threw it in a salad. She soaked the garbanzo beans, I think, for 24 hours, threw it in the salad. I like that idea, but the walnuts, I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I like to hear from the raw food community, mostly, or anybody that's actually familiar with the, you know, nuts. I only eat 2 nuts, walnuts and Brazil nuts. Why? Mainly because Dr. Sebi says so. And don't deal with, and because when I was eating really clean, and then which is usually all the time, but a couple of years ago, I think I was doing all fruit, and then I did an almond. And maybe it wasn't a couple of years, probably more than a couple of years ago. But I was eating really good. Maybe it was raw. And then I had an almond, and that shit put a pimple on my forehead. I'm like, nah, I ain't doing these no more. But yeah, I don't deal with no nuts like that no more, other than walnuts and Brazil nuts. But I would like to know, why are we soaking the nuts if we talking about that nature shit? Because I don't think that's what we was doing back in the primitive days, was soaking walnuts, none of the nuts. Holla at me.